on our way to West Thumb Yellowstone. This is our last day in the park. We just checked out of the Old Faithful Inn, and we are heading to the West Thumb Basin. There's a 1 mile hike there, and then there's a waterfall hike that we'll do after that. And then we head to Grand Teton National Park and check in at the Jackson Lake Lodge there. I'm happy to not be sleeping in the Old Faithful Inn bed anymore. Hopefully the Jackson Lake Lodge is better. Here's hoping. So we are doing a morning walk of the West Thumb Geyser Basin. So I assume that they'll be pretty steamy because it's early and it's cool. But it's basically 2 loops that you go through, and it's about 1 mile long. And it starts right up here. As you can see, there's a loop here and then a loop there. And it looks like it's all pretty ADA accessible. There is a steep section here to be aware of. Although I'm looking at it, it's not that steep. So the first thing here is the Mimulus pool. So we're going to take this first loop to the left. So these are the murmurs. Can't pronounce it. Don't know how to pronounce it, I should say. They are basically the vents. Some more pools. Not all of these pools have designations, posted designations. They are on the map, however. This is the Twin Geyser. The lake out there with the sun. Blue funnel pool. I imagine that during the day it probably looks a lot different. This is the Phaedra pool, and right next to it is the perforated pool. Kind of cool looking. Over here, we have the Thumb Geyser. And this little guy here, who's unnamed, well, at least unposted. The Percolating Spring. Although it doesn't really look like much of a spring. It looks like it used to be. There's a line that goes around it. But right now it's just steaming. This is the Ledge Spring over here. Very clear water. And the Collapsing Spring on this side, which is giving off so much steam that it is completely saturating the boardwalk with water. This little guy is bubbling quite a bit. He does not have a posted name, but he might be part of this larger pool here called the Surging Spring. I mean, that is surging rather well, so. And then you've got the lake off in the distance. So we'll continue here, and then we're going to make a left to start the next loop. It actually looks like there might be a little spur just before the loop ends. So right up here, we'll be making a left to do the larger loop, but first we're going to make this little left here to the spur down to Thumb Paint Pots. So one cool thing that happened this morning, we've seen a lot of really cool wildlife while we've been here, mostly bison and elk. This morning we got to see a weasel, which was kind of cool. Driving down the highway, he ran across the highway in front of us. Made it across just fine. So the first stop on the bigger loop, the outer loop, is the Bluebell Pool. Lots of birds in the trees this morning. So the outer boardwalk takes you down to, oh my gosh, lots of bugs, sorry. It takes you down to, okay, well this is Winter Spring, but I think it's that. I think that's Winter Spring. I'm gonna keep moving though, because there are just a ton of bugs. It takes you right down to the water line. Yep. So there's some stuff happening right there. I don't know what, but I had to run through there. There was too many bugs. That was a lot. The Lakeshore Geyser. Oh, that's cool. It's actually in the lake. That's pretty neat. Big Cone Geyser. Whew, okay, I can't stop for long. So many bugs. I don't know if you can see them or not on this. It's a bummer I can't stop to take really any pictures. I would have liked to have taken a picture of Big Cone, but this is a lot. I don't know if they're mosquitoes or something else, but they're all over. Okay, and just like that, we get away from the water line a little bit and the bugs. have dispersed. It's crazy. Okay. So that's King Geyser over there. And this is Black Pool. So we'll continue up the boardwalk. To Abyss Pool. And then you continue on up the trail. So this is that steep grade that it talks about, I think, on the map. As you can see, not that steep. So we are now back to the upper loop. So you can continue there, or you can come over here and get a different vantage point of Twin Geyser. Twin Geyser's there. And then from here, you just walk back there to the car. We just rounded the bend of the boardwalk to get back to the parking lot, and there's an elk just chowing down. Luckily there's another exit point. Sorry, mosquitoes. There's another exit point we can take. Don't forget to hit this guy on your way out or in to the parking lot. It's pretty neat. So we had planned to stop at Lewis Falls, but the parking area for the viewpoint was being utilized by a bunch of construction vehicles. The bridge right there is under major construction, and so your only viewpoint of it is driving right past it, and unfortunately I didn't have my camera or anything ready, so I'm just gonna have to remember it with my brain. But if you were planning to see Lewis Falls, that construction looks like a major undertaking. I don't think that it's going to be done in 2022, so or it won't be done this summer, or you won't be able to stop and see the falls this summer. So just have your camera ready when you go through that construction zone if you're heading south on the highway, because that's going to be your only opportunity to see it and get a picture.